Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Friday, February 18th, 2011. Well, folks, the Friday effect is in full swing today. The markets open flat. From that point on, we've gone sideways to up. Volume continues to die out. Today is options expiration. Now, again, the Friday effect is basically when the markets are always up on Fridays. If you notice, if you go back to the last 30 Fridays, 20 Fridays, whatever you want to look at, it's very rare unless there's a global event like there was a couple weeks ago with the Egyptian situation that the Friday's market will be down. Otherwise, the markets will be up. That's just the nature of the beast. And again, it's done because the Federal Reserve has a vested interest in the markets being up on a Friday. Why do they have a vested interest? Because if they want to cause a market rebound, you get the markets up on Friday, get people feeling good into the weekend. That's when people do a majority of their shopping. Shopping stimulates the economy. All right, and again, in addition, you have light volume on Fridays. People take off early, traders take off early, therefore the markets are more likely to be up as well. All these factors are intact. With the market moving up today, what do you think the dollar is doing? And remember, the dollar moves inverse to the overall markets, therefore you would assume, since the markets are higher, that the dollar would be lower. That is correct, right there. Take a look at the drop on the dollar today. As we speak, the Dow is up 48 points, NASDAQ up 7, S&P 500 up 2.5. A neutral to upside bias is what I gave for today. That is exactly what's going on. And again, notice the little bit of a float. We are seeing a tiny bit of selling here, but it's nothing big. And again, look at the volume here. There's no volume on this sell, therefore it most likely, unless something occurs again on this Friday on a global basis, you will not have any major selling. The markets will continue to bounce right back up. And you can see as I speak, they're already starting to bounce up a little bit. So again, that's what's going on. Now, there's some great trades in the intraday stock chat today. I will touch on them. There was an Apple trade, or actually I think a couple Apple trades today. First of all, you could see the level right down here, and what I have to do really is zoom out. We want to go to the 60-minute chart, actually. Let's go to the 60-minute chart and get the exact levels here. But right off the bat, you can see this pivot low was a perfect level here. And again, notice this pivot low here. See how these two candle tails went right here and right here? At the Pierce of 153, that was the signal, and again, picked it up at 152.85. That was very, very little off the lows of the day, and the Apple stock bounces back tremendously, profiting for all. There was another scalp right in here as well that we nailed, and right down here. There were actually 3 scalps in Apple today. In addition, a small cap I'll just throw out there to give you guys a sense was DSTI. After the SPWRA earnings were very, very solid, I noticed that DSTI, a little solar stock, was not having much of a move yet, and we jumped on board. The alert went out at $1.35. The stock has just hit $1.50. So 15-cent stock on $1.35, that's over 10% profit. And again, it may head higher as well. But again, notice the chart. Low end of the chart, solar stock down here. Look at the pop today on the daily chart. That's what it's all about, folks. Finding the plays before everyone else finds them, profiting from it. And again, it's all about the bottom line. How many dollars did you make today? We made a lot in the intraday stock chat. All right, Research Center alert went out as well. There was a good little play there, notified here. SLV, by the way, is a monster mover today. This is silver, guys. The silver iShares ETF here surging to $32. What a move here. What an absolute monster move. And again, keep an eye on this thing. It is getting extended on the daily chart. Will it pull back today? That's the big question. I do think it could go a little bit higher, but it's in that red alert area where you're going to start focusing in and trying to see if the top will be in for a pullback. And again, we're just looking for a small pullback. Not yet, though. Remember, it still could go a little bit higher. I think a gap up on Tuesday could be in order. Watch this one very, very closely, folks. If it gaps up on Tuesday to 32.50 or plus, I do think at that point then you can probably initiate a pullback play. All right, so keep an eye on that. This thing is trading at 32 right now. What a move up it's had. And again, this is new 52-week highs on the SLV. All right, now let's touch base on a couple other things here as we scan through. You can see, again, Amazon is down slightly. Apple's getting hammered today a little bit, but overall the rest of the stocks are up. Google's up, Chevron's up, IBM's up, Exxon's up, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and all those are combining to lift this market higher today, regardless of what Apple or Amazon's doing. And again, Amazon here, interesting to note, if you look at the daily, the double top, look at the pullback off the double top. Again, could be bear flagging it a little bit here on the chart as well, and worth watching in that respect. Let's take a look at a couple other stocks that are on the move today. Wells Fargo is one of the few financials to be down today. That stock, again, has had a monster run, starting to break lower, could be headed for the 50 moving average on the chart next week. Remember, Monday the markets are closed, so this is a long weekend. It's also very rare for the markets to be down before a long weekend, as the stats will tell you. All right, now let's take a look at gold quickly here. The GLD on an intraday basis, punching it up. You can see gold has moved higher, but lagging dramatically the silver trade. The silver trade by far is the biggest one. And if you think about it, understand the silver trade. Yes, it's an inflationary hedge, but it's also used in production of many key components in the economy. So, different mechanical devices, cars, for instance, various other things have silver in them. And again, that's why silver is such a key play on the economy growing as well. You have to understand that, and that's the reasoning behind why, yes, the dollar's down, which is helping gold and silver, but then you also have the component of the demand issue with the production that goes into things that have silver in them, and ultimately that leads you to have a higher squeeze on silver. And today's a silver squeeze. I mean, there's no doubt about it that it's squeezing higher, but that is, again, one of the reasons. Intel's having a solid day. Intel, ever since Dell's earnings, has really maneuvered higher, and you can see it right here on the charts. The 3-day surge on Intel, if we go to the daily chart, and you can see it right here, a 1, 2, 3 bar surge, actually taking out this previous pivot high right here today. And again, where could it be going? Most likely to 124.35, which, if we zoom out, is going to be your next pivot top up here. This is your double top up here, which is about $2 and change away, and Intel could get there. I mean, I think it'll pull back before it gets there a little bit, but ultimately it will probably get there on the upside, assuming the markets do not collapse down. Now, again, we've basically had no down days. I think the last significant down day was that day when the Egyptian issues erupted and people got scared before the weekend. You don't have anything like that today. Not that there's nothing going on in the Middle East. There's a lot going on, but it's not having the same initial effect. The initial scare was with the Egyptian situation. That was a situation one. Since then, nothing else. And again, we'll have to see over this long weekend if anything else comes into play. Let's go back to the SPY and touch base. And again, you can see, yeah, we had a little bit of a pullback here, but remember how I said the light volume will prop this market up. You can see right here, having a lot of trouble, really pushing down as it's floating back up. Markets most likely will stay in the neutral to slight upside bias today. And again, that's what I expect. I expect the markets to be flat to slightly higher today, kind of right around where they're sitting now by the end of the day. All right. Other than that, keep an eye on the webinar. We have a webinar scheduled for Sunday, March 6th. That's Sunday, March 6th. If you take this webinar, this will be the last chance to get our DVD that we will be putting out on the website for sale for free. You will get it for free if you take this webinar, folks. And again, the value is extensive. It's a big-time DVD with some big-time secrets in it. You take our webinar, which is, again, 2 weeks from Sunday, I believe, March 6th, you will get that DVD for free in the mail. I encourage you to do it. The value is huge in comparison to what you're getting off on that DVD and off on the webinar in total. And again, those of you that don't take the webinar can always buy it on the website in the not too distant future. All right, taking a look at Goldman Sachs quickly. Goldman is up, really just consolidating sideways. Notice the choppy consolidation here. This could be bullish for later in the day as it's holding the sideways pattern off the up move. That's slightly bullish. Again, staying above the 20 moving average. JP Morgan is also a little bit higher here. JP Morgan had a big week this week, and again, over the last couple days, it's consolidated. If we look at the daily chart, look at this, guys. Look at this perfect play right here. Double top, 52-week high, pivot hit 2 days ago. That was a great scalp short, one of the great scalp shorts of the week. There were many scalps this week because of the volatility of Options X in the intraday stock chat, and I continue to encourage you to join the intraday stock chat as well as the research center. Take the free trial if you want. Test it out. That's what it's there for. But utilize it properly, and you will make money easily in it. And again, that's what it's all about. All right, guys. Again, have a great weekend, great long weekend. Check in within the Money Stocks for any updates and prospective plays for next week. There will be plenty of trades next week as well. And again, we'll be back on Tuesday. Take care.